Today I'm going to be brutally honest, and the message is actually more for me than it is for you. But as I work through, I guess, these lessons for myself, or these lessons today, I hope you can take something from it as well, and that you can walk away with a better understanding. Today we're talking about the biggest problem reselling, the emotional roller coaster.
Emotional damage.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris, and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, I've been doing this this is week 126, so 126 weeks, and it always continues to surprise me how much the emotional roller coaster still impacts me today. And what's even more surprising is even though I know the answer to how to manage this roller coaster of emotions when it comes to reselling on eBay, it still gets me. And that's why I want to talk about it. Now, if for some reason you do not know what I'm talking about, then let me fill you in. So what I am talking about is essentially the ups and downs of sales, the ups and downs of consistency, or the lack of what we see when we are trying to resell, or even running a small business in this case. The ups and downs of buyers and our interaction with these buyers, the ups and downs of the issues that come, or the lack of issues, or when they come like a floodgate has been opened. The ups and downs of the best sales, of the best weeks, of the best days, of the best months, and the ups and downs of sourcing. These are just to mention a few, and I'm sure there's plenty more, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be others that you guys have experienced as well. The point is, there's a lot of ups and downs. Now, I am not here to ask for your sympathy. I'm not here in any way to ask for that, nor am I going to give it either. I want to take you through some understanding, or I guess how we can deal with this problem. And it is a problem. It's a problem because it comes in waves, and when it does come, it usually comes when we least expect it, and it knocks us around. But I do have something for you on how to manage it, and it's what I have been doing. It's what I had to do this week. It's essentially just a little step process that I go through on checking myself before I wreck myself through the emotional roller coaster. Now, if you did watch last week's video, there will be some strong familiar attributes in this video, but I still think there's some really good relevant information here that we can all learn from. Now, if you do stick around to the end, of course, I'm going to give you an update on how this week has actually progressed, so a small business update, and I'll give you some show and tell as well. So let's dive in. So the process that I use to reset my headspace and actually clarify the emotions that I'm feeling, if they're valid or if it's a whole bunch of drama, that's what I'm taking you through today. The first thing that we should be asking ourselves, and the first thing that I ask myself when I am feeling this way, that things aren't going to plan, why aren't I getting the sales, why is it a slow day, or why am I just feeling this way, whatever the reason may be. The first question that I ask myself is, have I done my best work? And I also look at it from the perspective of, have I done my best work today? Did I do my best work last week? And have I been doing my best work over the last month? Now, I will use this to assess and essentially gauge, have I potentially landed myself in this situation? Sometimes we get frustrated, and this is what I spoke about last week, of we not getting sales, or we not getting the progress, or we not seeing the results that we want, when sometimes it's at our own fault. We want to blame someone else when we might know that we might have actually caused it ourselves. Now, what I mean by this is, and look, there's nothing to back this up, but I do believe that obviously when we put in the work, we will see results. The results aren't going to be the next day. The results won't always be the same day. But I also know that if we list items, they could sell that same day if they're valid items, if they're priced right, and if people want them, and if people are looking for them. The reason why I look at it from this way and do this assessment is essentially I need to look at myself and reflect and understand, have I actually been listing items that would likely sell? Have I been doing that in the last 24 hours? Have I been doing that in the last week? Have I been doing it in the last 30 days? The next thing I then have to look at is, have I been managing or lacking any quality control? Are there things here where I've gotten sloppy? Are there things here where I've gotten complacent? Are there things here where potentially could be deterring people away? Now, this will lead into the second point, but the other thing you need to consider here as well is, have you gotten sloppy? Have you not been putting in the attention to detail? Now, I'm not saying because you've had one bad day and you didn't list yesterday that you're going to suffer the next day. No, it doesn't work like that. But if you've been listing things that will not sell, like seriously, I have got stuff listed from 2 years ago that I'm still slowly culling out, and I talk about it all the time, that I haven't had a view on it for like the last 300, 400 days. So why is it still sitting there? We need to remove those things. And I would never list those things again. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we still do make mistakes as we learn and we purchase things and we try to sell things. Maybe it's keywords, maybe it's understanding, maybe it's research about that item. But before I can start thinking, is there something going on here? Or do I have a reason to feel, okay, this isn't working out, what's going on? I need to actually validate and understand, well, hang on, what's actually going on? Now, my second point is, do I have any open pending actions on myself on eBay? Since I run my small business purely on eBay, that's all I can talk about. And it is a reselling business, but I'm running a small business on eBay. That is the platform that I use. So the things I need to be looking out for and understanding is, do I have any open cases that are waiting my action? Do I need to do any refunds? Do I need to do any return management? Do I need to manage any cases of as described or items that haven't arrived? What about negative feedback? Is there some negative feedback that needs to be attended to or addressed or managed? Are there some pending items that need to be out delivered that are overdue to be sent? Are there open messages left resolved? Is there anything that I need to be doing that is pending on me? Other than, the usual hygiene and listing and things like that, but are there any open actions on me? That's the next thing that I would do. And now, number 3, I ask myself the question, is there anything that I can do to change my current situation? Now, I will be frank, I will be honest, a lot of the time we feel this emotional roller coaster, I know I do, when the sales dry up, when we've had some really good consistency, when we've had some really good days, or we're getting a new average, or we've got a new baseline, and all of a sudden we're not seeing that same result. We think, okay, well, what's happened to the sale? A lot of the time it is out of our control, and we'll get to that shortly. But the other thing you can start to consider or ask yourself is, what else can I be doing? And if you are struggling with less sales, or the sales have dried up, can you add a promotion? Have you sent out any offers today? Are you running any coupons? And from that, you can also start to think about, well, is there anything that I can do to pivot the items that I'm offering to sell at the moment? For instance, can I pivot my stock listing for a smaller period? Can I offer some fresh items? Look, for instance, during seasonal changes or on holidays, there's different people wanting to be buying things, or leading up to holidays, parents want to be purchasing for their kids, or people might have a little bit more money because they're on holidays, or whatever it may be. So are you adding items that are relevant to the time of the period that you're in? And I will talk about this shortly as well. The other thing we need to consider, and that I look at seeing if there's anything else that I can do, is hygiene of the store. Can I be cleaning up the store or doing store hygiene, meaning, cleaning up old listings, removing old listings, cleaning out that dead stock, updating details, updating photos and their quality, updating return opportunities, updating pricing. Hey, can I even get into my dev pile and see if there's items in there that need to be listed that I can list and there are quick wins? These are all very basic and very simple things that we can be doing, but they're very important to do before we start dramatizing or getting too worked up that we're going through an emotional roller coaster. The fourth thing that I then would be asking myself or checking in with myself is, I need to compare the current situation to what I already know. Now, I've been doing this for 2.5 years, so I've got 2.5 years worth of data. Now, I do have a spreadsheet where I track all my information. I recently launched a reseller spreadsheet with Ethan Rushock, and if people are interested in that, you can go watch the live stream and the demo. That is for sale, and if you want to pick that up before the end of financial year, by all means, I would recommend it. But I'm not here to talk about that at this point, but I do track all my data, and I've got a lot of information to understand how things are flowing. Of course, you can access a lot of this information on eBay as well. So I can zoom out and understand, what was it like last year? What was it like this time last year? And at this point in time, it's June 2023. So I can look back on June 2022 and understand, okay, are my current results expected? Are they relevant to what they were with previous trends? Are they relevant to previous months? Are they relevant to previous weeks? Are they the same? Are they up? Are they down? How do they compare? And this can give me a bit of a pulse check and can give me a sense of clarity. Are there things in place that could actually explain this situation? Seasons, trends, economic issues. And that's where we get to really the big kicker, because a lot of the time you'll find a lot of it is out of our control. Because if you have been doing your best work over the last week, over the last day, over the last month, and that's the same work that you've been doing to get you to the good results that you've already been seeing, and you've been putting in those reps, nothing to worry about. If we don't have anything that's open or pending on us, like any actions open or any things that we've left unattended to, then nothing to worry about. Number 3, if we've done all the possible quick wins for pivot adjustment, meaning is there some dead stock that we can list to refresh the store a little bit? Are there some hygiene items that we can attend to, see if we can add a promotion. Are there any things that we can do to uplift the store a little bit in that, that period, that week, that day, that moment? Then cool, nothing to worry about. And then 4, are there any possible scenarios that is leading to this current result? And that's where I believe is most of the problems come from. Things out of our control. So if 1, 2, and 3, if you're doing all those right, and then there's 4, there's even a chance of that, then we need to charge on. We need to continue to charge on and realize that the roller coaster is out of our control. You need to trust the process. Now, essentially, when a surfer goes out to the beach, goes out to the waves, they're taking their time to get out there to find the perfect wave. They get on top of that wave and they ride it high. They ride it all the way into the shore and they have the time of their life. Only to now be at the bottom again and they have to do the whole thing again. It's part of the process. There's going to be these big waves. There's going to be these small waves. There's going to be when it's calm. It's going to be when it's rough. It's going to be when it's wild. And it's a good kind of wild. And that's the reality of it. You need to trust the process. Again, I'm talking to myself. Here. We also need to remember that we're selling on a platform in which we add items to. We do not control what happens on that platform. Yes, people are coming in. eBay helps try and, sell our items, but, are we putting in good items? And I've spoken about this, why items sell, and are their customers even wanting those items? We're selling on a platform which is dependent on buyers, or customers in this case, who we do not control or we do not influence other than what we put in our listing. The other thing to consider is seasons come and go, buyer trends come and go, cash splash comes and goes, meaning if there is an economic crisis at the moment, which there is, and, people are struggling at the hip, are they spending their dollars the right way? It's also the end of tax time. It's also a long weekend. There's so many factors at play. And I'm not trying to say all these things to help you justify why you're not seeing the results that you want. I'm helping you make sure you do a pulse check, and I'm talking to myself, the way that makes sense, a way that gives you some sense of sanity to know that, no, you are doing the right thing and you just got to keep doing what you're doing. It's worked this far. So continue to do it, but do it better. So 3 bonus factors that we need to consider, because factors do come and go, but 3 things we need to consider are: do not take it for granted. Your situation, your success, your progress, your ability to grow. Do not take it for granted. Secondly, do not get complacent. As we continue to grow, as we continue to learn and absorb and become at a better baseline of what we believe is successful or great, don't take it for granted and do not get complacent with it. And the third thing is, do not be lazy. If you want better results, you need to do work that gives better results. So this is a message to me. This is purely, I'm talking to myself here. And I hope there's been a lesson here for you, something that you can take away. Now, do you struggle with this? Do you go on that emotional roller coaster ride? And how do you manage it? What do you do about it? Now, I will be frank. This week, it actually turned out not too bad. I've probably landed in about average, but it took a while to get there. I actually felt like I was working for it. I felt like I had to get to where I needed to be. I had to push the extra hard. I had to see what I could do. I was pretty aggressive with, discounts and things like that. Now, the reality is it ain't all that bad at all. It really isn't. But what I want, where I want to be, I'm striving for that next level. And the average ain't going to cut it for what I want. So I either have to figure out, how do I continue to up that game for the next week and the next month? Or how do I continue to manage this if I'm not getting the results that I want? Something has to change. Obviously, each week, I can't just blame it on other factors at hand. I think this week there were other factors at hand. But at the same time, it has given me the reality check to know, it's like, am I happy with what I'm doing? Or do I need to improve things? Do I need to do things better? And can I do things better? And that's really the big question we need to be asking ourselves, and I know that I've been asking myself this week. Speaking of this week, week 126, how have we gone for this week? So we have landed at about $2,500, which, as I said, is actually, I think it's actually above average. You can see it up here on screen, but what has been selling, a lot of clothes have taken me through the success for the week. Clothes, jeans, pants, and then there's been a few electronics, DVDs. Books were quite low this week, a bit of Lego as well. But really a good range of items, but really it's been clothing that has enabled me to get the result that I wanted. In terms of some of the top items that have been selling for the week, I haven't really sold any big bolos. It's been a lot of just bread and butter kind of stuff. Top item number one was this New Zealand All Blacks rugby fleece jumper. I picked this one up for $12.82. I've been able to sell it for $67.80. It went over to, I think it was the US, and walked away with $33.48 after fees and postage. Top item number two was, and this one was actually a bit of a surprise. So I got these for free in a lot, meaning I had a coupon at Vinnie's, but out of the total average cost of good for that whole purchase from Vinnie's, it worked out to be about $3.21. And there was basically 70 mixed crazy bones. They looked interesting, so I grabbed them. I think this was in a video about 3 weeks ago. I've been able to sell these for $48.80. After fees and postage, I've walked away with $28.63, which ain't too bad for just, some little crazy bones. Top item number three was a quick win. This was a Quicksilver reversible jacket. I actually picked this up only a couple of days ago, and it comes out in a video in 2 weeks' time. So you're getting a glimpse of the future. I've paid $5.87 for this one. That's an average cost of good. Sold it for $50. That includes postage, and I've been able to profit $26.98 after fees and postage. And then the fourth item for this week were these Levi 501s. These were made in Australia, so they were a vintage pair. I've been able to pick these up for about $16.50, and I've been able to sell them for $59.70 and walked away with around $23.53 after fees and postage back into my pocket. In terms of the whole week in general, as you can see, it has been a lower week in terms of volume. 85 sales. I'm usually been sitting around that 100 quantity of sales per week over the last good 12 weeks. Margin a bit low, 33%. Cost of goods $680. Sold $2,469 worth, profiting $824 worth. ASP $29, and average cycle time was 105 days. So look, it hasn't been the results I've wanted to see. I'm still very grateful, of course. And I did get over that hump of getting to where I wanted to be, but it just didn't feel like it was coming in quickly. Now, again, I've had back-to-back best weeks, back-to-back best months over the last 3 months, and that in itself puts me in a position where I feel like, okay, this is good. I've got something going. So have I actually taken things for granted? Have I not been, putting in the extra work? Have I become complacent? And I think that's the reality check for myself, is I need to make sure that I'm not giving in on being complacent. If I want more, if I want this, then that's fine. I can keep doing what I'm doing, but I want more, right? And it's not about that I want to be, look at me, look how much I can be doing. But I know what I want, and I have to work for it. So if you want something, you have to work for it. That's the way it works. So let's see. I'll continue to show up each week and document and share this progress with you. That's the whole purpose of it. But for now, let's dive into some show and tell. All right, team, welcome to Monday, and we're doing it all again. So it's been an interesting week, actually. It was pretty quiet in terms of what I would have liked. I did make up for it. I got above average, but the week, it really just took its time to really get to where I wanted to be. I did end up hitting 40,000 the other day, but I'm back now down to 39,670. We've got 52 orders going out today. Quite a few goodies. Some bundle of video games. I'm just clearing out dead stock, bundling it together and just getting it moved. All these for resurfacing and scratch, so they all need disc repair, so just moving it. We've got lots of clothing going out, and here's media, a few books over there as well. We've got him going out over to Germany, US. Got a little AFL badge going out, some annual Hulk, just clearing stuff out, guys. That guy's going to Germany. This little guy's going local. This is all clothing. There is a couple of bundles in here. A few people have purchased two or three things. Someone purchased 4 pairs of jeans. So I'm pretty happy with that. This afternoon, I'm starting on clearing all this. Not clearing, cleaning all this. There's a lot of empty spots, as you can see, just down the line. So I should be able to get back a lot of space, which would be good. Yeah, let's start packing and doing some actual work. Let's do it. All right, team, all packed and lots going out. Had a couple more international sales come through, one to Thailand and one to Canada. So that was a nice little win at the end. And now I'm going to pack all this into here. Probably won't fit it all into here, actually. But it is what it is. All right, team, appreciate you. And let's jump over to Thursday. One more thing I will show you is just cleared all this, and look, cleared out almost 1.5 racks. That's all new stock that's just come from home. So it's looking much better now. So all done. Didn't actually even take too long. Took about 25 minutes, maybe. Yeah, not too bad. Howdy team. All right, it is Thursday and we've got 33 items going out. Don't know if you can see that too well. We're back down to 39,778. I have been up, down this week. It's been like this. I will give a quick shout out to some of the winners that have won some Pokemon cards. Congratulations. There was Kelly, there was Beck, and Terry as well. Some pretty cool bangers in this actually. If we have a quick little sneak peek, I think Terry got a pretty cool one. Oh no, so I gave that one to Terry because she didn't actually pull anything. It was, who was it? I think it was Beck. Yeah, Beck got the bangers. This guy, and then also we got this guy as well. And then Kelly came out with a win as well. Nothing too crazy, but still looks really nice. So congratulations, guys. Let's get them out to you today. So that was pretty cool. We've got, as I said, 33 items going out. We've got lots of clothing, quite a few bundles actually. There's about 4 or 5 different bundles in here. A couple there, some jeans, some media. We've got a phone going out. We've got some Babysitters Club. We've got a book. We've got lots of bundles of video games. I've even made one up for one of you guys. I think that was Dave. Thanks for hitting me up, buddy. More clothing, jeans, jumpers, jackets. That's really it. So look, it's been pretty good all things considered, but it's been slow compared to the last few weeks before this. It's actually I'm below average per day, that is. Yeah, let's get packing. I've been trying out a few new processes of how I've been picking. So I pick things in reverse order. I mean, I've been doing this for a while now, but it's got it into a bit of a good flow state. So I pick everything in reverse order. When I pack everything, when I pack everything and it's ready for labeling, I put it all in here and I label it all at the top. That way when I print off everything, it just makes it a lot easier. And because of the clothing, it all usually fits in the boxes or here or whatever. So it's working pretty good. We've already filled up some more, so we cleared out this the other day. That's already been filled back up, so we're moving quick. It is what it is. Look, there's struggling times at the moment with the interest rates gone up. That's a bit of a bummer, but we've got to charge forward. Appreciate you. Hope your week's been good. Let's press on. Right, team, we are all done, all sacked up and ready to go. Yeah, not too bad at all. All right, ciao. Alright, so that's been the week, and look, it will be interesting to see how this next week plays out. Today, at the time of this video, is a public holiday, and the weekend, it didn't have the big sales that a normal public holiday weekend, long weekend would have, but the long weekend is not over yet. So we'll see how we press into week 127. Appreciate you being here. Go check out some of my other videos. If you do have any questions, comments, chuck them down below. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Cheers.